And welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on a continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. You hear me say it all the time. Help me to grow this community. Hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share, because this stupidity, it doesn't end. Now, look, while we haven't seen Trump do any public events since, I don't know, at least the beginning of the shutdown, not Karoline Leavitt. Oh, no. She was back with another press conference this afternoon. And at that press conference, she tried to distract from the shutdown. But the reporters, they didn't let that happen. She started by talking about Portland, Oregon, saying that it's war-ravaged. In fact, the only war in this country is Trump's war on the average American consumer. Play the clip.
President Trump will end the radical left's reign of terror in Portland once and for all. The president has directed Secretary Hegseth to provide all necessary troops to protect war-ravaged Portland and any ICE facilities under siege from attack by Antifa and other left-wing domestic terrorists.
What the hell is she talking about? I mean, it's funny. Pam Hempel, the granny MAGA, the one that was there on January 6th, that went into the Capitol, was actually arrested, did time, and so on. She's in Portland right now, and she's sending me videos all the time. There's nothing going on there. I don't know what movie they're watching. I don't know what's going on in their heads, but it is all absolute bullshit. So a reporter then goes on and asks Karoline about the administration's claims that upcoming layoffs are necessary. So if so, why haven't layoffs happened in past government shutdowns? Play that clip.
Mary.
Thanks, Karoline. Two questions on the shutdown. You've argued that these impending layoffs are necessary to keep essential services up and running, but that has never been the case in any previous shutdown. Even when the government was shut down for 35 days in Trump's first term, you've never had to lay off thousands of workers to keep essential services up and running. So why are layoffs now necessary in this shutdown?
Because we have an administration and we have a president who are wholeheartedly focused on restoring fiscal sanity to our government and doing the right thing by the American taxpayer. We are $37 trillion in debt, and the federal government is currently shut down. There is no more money coming into the federal government's coffers. And as you've also seen since the beginning, in January, this administration is focusing on waste, fraud, and abuse. And so Democrats have given this administration an unenviable choice to have to take a look at the balance sheet and identify where these cuts and layoffs can be made.
And you just said this is...
Wait, stop. Time out. There's no more money coming in to the coffers. What about the $17 trillion that Trump keeps talking about? Where is that money? Where is the trillions of dollars that are coming in from tariffs? Where is that money? Where is the billions and billions of dollars from the Trump card, the gold card, the selling of immigration status here in America? Where is that money? That's what I thought. Now, another reporter asked about Trump's comments on it being an unprecedented opportunity. Again, he loves that word, opportunity, for layoffs, AKA, is he happy that he can just basically fire people? Play the clip.
And you just said this is an unenviable choice, that this is an unfortunate consequence. But the president has described this as an unprecedented opportunity to lay off additional workers. He's posted a video likening Russ Vought to the Grim Reaper. So which is this? Is this an opportunity to fire more workers or an unfortunate consequence?
Look, the president likes to have a little fun every now and then, and I think both things can be true at the same time. The Democrats have given the administration this opportunity, and we don't like laying people off. Nobody takes joy in that around here, and if you think that, then I think that's very sad. You view the White House and our staff as wanting to put people out of work. Nobody wants to do that, but sometimes in government you have to make tough decisions. Carrie.
She will refuse to answer a question because it's bullshit and everybody knows it. Meanwhile, another reporter, not letting her off the line here, another reporter asks Karoline, what makes an agency a Democratic agency? Because we all know that this is who they're targeting. Play the clip.
Kelly.
How would this administration define what makes a Democrat agency, which agencies, and what constitutes being a Democrat agency?
I think this administration has been very clear, Kelly, that we're not going to tolerate waste, fraud, and abuse in our government. And we've also been very clear to point out when agencies or when programs do not align with this administration's values of putting our country first. You've seen that with USAID and in various other cases where there's been cuts made or funding has been slashed. And so, again, unfortunately, we're having to do a massive review of the bureaucracy to be good stewards of the American taxpayer dollar. And it's the Democrats who have forced the White House and the president into this position by voting to shut the government down.
You know what's amazing? In the earlier segment, she said, yes, we are $37 trillion in the hole. That's our deficit. With Trump, more than $8 trillion of it. More than 22.5% of our country's deficit came from his first presidential term. Yeah, waste, fraud, and abuse, huh? Meanwhile, a reporter then goes and drills down further on the administration's claims about illegal migrants getting health care. The reason for the shutdown, in their opinion, that illegal immigrants are getting health care, asking then if hospitals should just turn them away. Play the clip.
Andrew.
Thank you, Karoline. Two things. First, to follow up on something you said earlier about hospitals treating undocumented or illegal aliens. Is it the administration's position that hospitals should not have to treat people who come into the emergency department who are not here legally?
No, that's not our position. Our position is that it's completely unacceptable that the Biden administration paroled and encouraged an invasion of tens of millions of illegal aliens into our country and then promised them free health care. And the Democrats are on the record repeatedly stating that they believe illegal aliens should have health care benefits, free health care benefits in the United States of America. So that is a recipe for a disaster. Of course you're going to encourage a mass illegal invasion of our country, which is exactly what happened. And we've seen the unfortunate consequence of that, where American patients are being put last, where American patients are having to wait in wait rooms, where grandmothers and grandfathers are waiting hours and hours for care because they're being put behind the line to illegal aliens. And we don't agree with that. We don't support that. That's why the administration is desperately trying to fix it and deport the tens of millions of illegal aliens that the Democrats and the Biden administration allowed into our country. And we'd love to continue doing that work so long as the federal government is reopened. And there are many federal law enforcement agents and officers right now who are working without pay. That's unacceptable. The Democrats need to reopen the United States government, and we hope that they will do the right thing on the Senate floor in just a few moments. Thank you, everyone.
Can I tell you, she's one evil human being. She's so evil. The lies. Yes, grandmas and grandpas, and let's just say as her people, white, male Christian or white female Christian Americans are now waiting in line behind illegal immigrants and so on. None of this is true. By the way, let me also turn around and say, if in fact what the Democrats are saying, by the way, which is that if somebody comes into the emergency room, regardless of their immigration status, they need to be treated. That's actually the oath that doctors take. You don't let a sick person die. And it's just a human thing. Unbelievable. Now, Peter Doocy of Fox asked Karoline about Trump's flip-flopping on Project 2025. Play that clip.
Peter.
Thank you, Karoline. During the campaign...
Thank you, Peter.
I was raised to say thank you in the White House briefing room. During the campaign, President Trump said that he did not know anything about Project 2025. Now he knows about it. Is that the blueprint for shrinking the government?
Look, the blueprint is what the president and his team and his cabinet secretaries ultimately decide. And the president trusts his cabinet secretaries to identify where there is waste, fraud, and abuse. We pointed out this morning, or Russ Vought tweeted about this morning, a Chicago rail project that was canceled. We paused $2.1 billion in Chicago infrastructure projects, specifically the Red Line extension and the red and purple modernization projects. And it's because the administration is concerned that the Biden administration was handing out taxpayer dollars to pay for this construction based on DEI, DOT DOT is reviewing the race-based contracting on unconstitutional grounds, and in the meantime, the Department of Transportation funds for these projects are on hold. So I guess this answers both of your questions. This would be an example of that.
And just
Wow. Again, she's really, truly evil. But Peter goes on to also ask, second question, for the administration's response to Bad Bunny doing the Super Bowl halftime show. Play that clip.
just because there's so much shutdown talk, something different. What do you guys think about the NFL's decision to name Bad Bunny as the Super Bowl halftime performer, somebody who has not scheduled shows in the U.S. because he says that he's worried that ICE is going to come and arrest his fans?
Well, look, I know there are many in this room who are very anxious to hear the president's response to Bad Bunny being the halftime show, so I won't get ahead of him. I won't reveal what he feels about this. Next time you all ask him a question, you're welcome to do that. I have my own feelings on that, but that's not what I'm up here to talk about. As far as ICE being at the Super Bowl, as far as I'm aware, there's no tangible plan for that in store right now. However, of course, this administration is always going to arrest and deport illegal immigrants when we find them. If they are criminals, we're going to do the right thing by our country.
Again, she's one messed up human being. But I do want to end on a question from a reporter that even Karoline was stumped by. Yes, Karoline was stumped by it. Play the clip.
Caroline, who's ever yelling in the back? Go ahead.
Me. Sure. Thank you. Bianca Gracia here, and I have a question. This week, the Democrats have chosen illegals over hard-working Hispanic Americans during Hispanic Heritage Month, causing the White House to cancel the celebration with the president. Is the president open to letting the Hispanics, who overwhelmingly voted for him, have their own siesta fiesta in the White House lawn opposed to the fancy, we don't need fancy schmancy, right? You can give us the backyard and we'll fill it all in and have in our own fiesta. Is the president open to that?
I had no idea she was going to ask that question. I just want to preface that. I've never met you. I just want to say that, but welcome to the briefing room. I love your energy. I can't personally unilaterally promise the South Lawn grounds. We have some construction going on out there, but I know that everyone here views it as very unfortunate we had to cancel or hopefully just reschedule the Hispanic American Heritage Month event, and it's because we are working around the clock during this government shutdown. When the Democrats vote to reopen the government, that event will be back in the planning stages.
Wow. Meanwhile, lastly, in response to that clip, House Homeland Security Committee Democrats posted this on social media, mocking Trump's recent post. Let me show you what they did. Oh yeah, Trump's shutdown equals no fiesta. Let me be very clear about something. All of these memes, they're funny. We laugh about them. They do nothing within which to reopen the government. They do nothing within which to convince a single person on the opposite side that the other side is right and the other side is wrong. And that's why I'm constantly saying, help me to grow this community. Hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share. Share this because people need to be in the know. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. We're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.